This video is sponsored by Skillshare.
1, 2, 3, funk it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I organize the stationery that I've collected over the past few years. So I'm mainly going to be focusing on the stationery on top of my desk and under my desk, because that is basically where all my necessities are located. But yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys what I've been collecting and how far my stationery collection actually goes. I'd also like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Skillshare. So Skillshare is an online learning community where thousands of inspiring classes are offered for those who are interested in learning various topics such as illustration, design, video, photography, and more. So it's built for creators and learners of all different levels who wish to build interests or advance their passions in many different ways. Essentially, when learning from video lessons and class projects, Skillshare will help empower you to accomplish your goals and stay inspired while fully expressing yourself. Plus, you'll also receive support from the millions of other creators who share the same drive. There are absolutely no ads or strict schedules of any sorts for any of the classes, and Skillshare is very affordable, being less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. They are also always launching new premium classes, so it's great if you'd like to not only deepen passions that you already have, but explore new skills that can help you grow as an individual. I am actually currently taking a productivity class on Skillshare by Thomas Frank, where he teaches you how to create a custom system that aims to help you boost productivity. This class is actually very motivating, so I highly recommend that you take it if you're looking to find effective ways to be productive. If you guys are also interested in exploring your creativity and growth yourself, the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description box will get a 2-month free trial of premium membership. I personally think that at a time like this, where important issues are being uncovered and conversations are finally geared more towards the betterment of society, it's time to make your mark and let your voice be heard. Exploring many of these creative classes is a great way to start your venture in making a real impact. So let's start off with how I organize my stationery on top of my desk. To organize all my highlighters, I like to organize them into this acrylic rack from Muji. It's a 45-degree angle rack, and I've had this for a couple of years, so it's been very good to me. I keep my fluorescent highlighters on the bottom. This includes my Unipropus highlighters and my Muji fluorescent highlighters. And in the middle and top rack, I like to keep my Mildliners there. These are the pens that I use the most. I've been using them for a couple years, and I always like to restock. As we go on in the video, you'll see I own a lot of Mildliner cases, but overall these are my favorite pens, and I like to keep them very close to me and easily accessible. So right next to it is this acrylic stand, also from Muji. This works most like a decorational piece, but I still keep stationery in there. I keep my Stabilo pastel highlighters, the small mini size, in this AirPod case, and I just kind of put it up on the stand. I don't really use these as often. I do like the colors and they work very, very well, but I also have them in the large size, so I like to use those than these. And on the bottom, I just have these sticky notes in rainbow color. I put it there because it corresponds with these Stabilo highlighters. I think it's pretty obvious that this is just a decorative piece, but there is nothing wrong with using your stationery for decoration. So I keep even more of my pens in these pen organizers. It's similar to my 45-degree angle acrylic Muji organizer, except one is clear and one is beige, and there are so many more holes. But in the beige one, I like to keep my necessities, so it's just a mix of pens. On the bottom, I have like my pencils and my colored pens that I use on a daily. And in the middle, I keep my gel pens, just mainly the ones I use on a daily basis and the ones that work very well for me. This is basically the rollerball pen and the gel pen in both 0.7 from Arteza. I also like to keep a few extras in there just in case. And in the very top, I keep my brush pens, specifically the Zebra hard tip brush pen. since I use that religiously in every single spread or note that I take. So moving on to the clear pen holder, I like to keep all my colorful stuff. So this entire rack is actually made up of Muji pens. I have the newest retractable Muji pens in all different colors in the size 0.5. And as you move up, you just see even more retractable Muji pens, except the old design in the same size 0.5. I guess this also counts as stationery, but I keep my journals and current bullet journals right next to these racks. Basically, I have my 6-ring binder and my current bullet journal. For my Muji acrylic drawer, I keep some stuff on top, including my stapler, my mouse, and my AirPods. And now moving on to the first drawer, I keep items that are considered a necessity and something that I can get on the go. So that would be like my scissors, my whiteout, any post-it notes, my ruler, just necessities and like basic supplies like that. I also like to keep some of my washi tape samples in here since they can't fit in my washi tape cases. But yeah, I also keep like stickers in there that I want to use. Honestly, my drawer is a mess because this is like kind of like the drawer where everything is there all at once, so I don't have to like look for things. But moving on to the second drawer, this is basically where I keep most of my post-its. I have post-its that I use often or want to use often. I have so many others in the basket under my desk, but we will get to that later. Basically, I also have some stickers in here and just decorative stuff like that for my bullet journal. And moving on to the last drawer, I have my Pilot Juice pens. I have the colors in primary, metallic, and pastel. This is also kind of like used for decoration because I don't find myself using these as often. I would rather choose the Muji pens over these, but it's still nice to have a drawer with pens that are organized in rainbow order. So the last piece of stationery organization on my desk would be this Apple iPhone case full of my favorite washi tapes. And so since I use these frequently, I would obviously love to have them very close to me on my desk. So that is how I organize the stationery on my desk. I try to make everything easily accessible. As you can tell, the 45-degree angle cases are my favorite because you can just pick the pen up. I also like acrylic cases. Most of my cases are acrylic and transparent, so then I can kind of see what's going on and make sure that I'm opening the right drawer or looking in the right case. But yeah, I like to keep everything on my desk pretty functional and try to put in a little bit of decoration here and there. But that is it for the top of my desk, and let us now move on to the bottom. Alright, so here's the bottom of my desk. I'm aware that it's very crowded and can be a little bit confusing and overwhelming, but my desk is like designed in a way where I can also prevent that. There are buttons where I can move my desk up and down, so then if I'd like to get something from one of the baskets, I can just move my desk all the way up and I'll easily get it. It's a pretty good distance from the top of the desk. Alright, so starting off with this portion of under my desk, I guess I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of where I store these stationery items and then give you guys a tour of it. These two cases are where I keep my washi tapes. They lie on top of a flexi spot drawer where I keep even more stationery inside, but I will be showing you guys what exactly is in the drawers and in the cases. So the first organization tool that I use is this MacBook Air case. I really like how spacious it is, and it also fits many other mini cases, so I think that's really great. So starting off with the washi tape organization on the right, here I keep my empty solid washi tapes. I am a huge fan of these washi tapes. I think they're such high quality. The texture is very soft, and so obviously I had to purchase majority of the colors. And then all the way on the left, I have what I call my Aliexpress washi tapes. Basically, it's a design where there's a white background and then a colored frontal design. I think it makes my bullet journal look so much nicer. And then on the top, I have another set of empty washi tapes, except thin. I don't use these as much as the thicker ones, but they are the same texture and I enjoy them nonetheless. So for the organization aspect, I keep my empty washi tapes in the empty boxes that they came from. And then for the Aliexpress washi tapes, I keep them in an Apple iPhone case. And the washi tapes above these are just what couldn't fit in these cases. So for the transparent case, this is where I keep my patterned washi tapes. Basically a lot of exciting and less simplistic washi tape compared to the ones in the MacBook Air. I like to distinguish between my patterned and my solids because I use them for different things, and I think that's a great way to organize your stationery, especially when there are so many designs. But I keep them, well, I try to keep them in color order. I have like pink in the first row, then orange and yellow, then blue into green, and then like a purple, and then towards the end it's kind of just like brown, black, and things that I didn't really know where to place, but otherwise I'm very content with how it turned out. Now, these two cases lie on top of a monitor desk stand with a drawer. Inside the drawer, I like to keep a lot of my essential supplies since the drawer is very easily accessible. So I have my Scotch tape in here, and then my two staplers. This green one is a stapleless stapler, so it requires no staples. Instead, it folds the paper. And then I have like my mini stapler, my clipper, and some refills for that clipper, just some index cards, and overall supplies that I might need on the go for studying and whatnot. And then moving on to the other side, you can actually like customize how you want it to divide. So there's like a divider in one of the pockets. But over here, I keep my scissors. I have a lot of scissors, and I don't know where they all came from, but I just keep them in here. And then in this pocket, I have all my Arteza gel pens. This is my favorite gel pen, and I use it all the time. It works so well for me. So obviously I had to stock up and store them in a place where they are easily accessible. So that was it for this area, and now we're going to be moving on to the other half, which is basically where most of the exciting stuff is, like my stickers and my pens and all that. So if we go over here, we have the locker shelves, the baskets, just like a general overview. We have two baskets on top of two locker shelves. Then we have a platform with stationery, and then another basket and just cases of stationery. So now for the first basket, this is where I keep a mix of my stationery papers, post-its, and things to put in my bullet journal. On the side, I actually keep 3 of my pencil cases. This first one is a Muji pencil case, and it's like very minimalistic and small. This one is a Lit Hit Lab pen case. It has like layers and pockets. And then this one is just a regular pencil case where I keep my number 2 pencils for testings and whatnot. Then moving on to the actual basket, on the back I just keep a lot of irrelevant stuff like these pockets for storage and this Knock Knock book, which I have yet to use, and 3 of these Knock Knock pads. The first one is Note to Self. The second one is a #goals pad where I track my goals, and then this one actually works as a mouse pad and as a planner pad, which is actually pretty cool. So now the moment that we've all been waiting for, a full and finalized tour of all my stationery papers and sticky notes. These are the stationery items that I've been collecting for years, and I am just so excited to show you guys. There's so much stuff in here. Basically most of them are actually Japanese themed because I am in love with Japanese stationery. But here I just have like cards and notepads. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest, but all in all, it's just a lot of sticky notes with designs on them, a lot of bookmarks and cards, greeting cards, birthday cards, notepads, just things like that. And yeah, I'll let you guys enjoy. So what I'm pulling up right here are a lot of the Japanese stationery cards and envelopes that I received, and these are so unique. There are just so many different designs and so many different styles. I am honestly so in love with the uniqueness. Whenever I give these cards, I always get compliments because it's just so much different than the typical greeting or birthday card. Also, quick story on these prints. This was when I actually started a shop, but I quickly ended it because I felt like I wasn't ready. But there might be a shop opening up soon, so stay tuned for that. So these are even more stationery and cards. As you can tell, the designs are very, very unique and very, very aesthetically pleasing. I am so in love with these.
Hey, I like your song. Corny.
So that was the left side of the basket, and now we can move on to the right side. Honestly, they consist of the same things, except for the right has a little bit more post-its than actual stationery and greeting cards compared to the left. Moving on to this side, I have these magnetic notes from a while ago. It's basically just these papers and you can stick them anywhere and write anything on it, which is pretty cool. And so for this tour, I'm going to be pulling them out little by little because I made the biggest mistake of pulling them all out all at once for the left side. So here I just keep like this weekly planner and some small post-its and stuff like that. There are actually more like post-its and stickies on this side than on the other side because the other side was more like greeting cards and stuff like that. So I tried to make a system for it, but it didn't really work. But as I'm watching this, I'm realizing that I guess my mindset when I first organized this basket was greeting cards on the left and sticky notes on the right. Clearly, I kind of just didn't care towards the end, but I can see a sort of organization thing going on.
Toward being sort of good at something.
So that was the last of it. As you can tell, I own a lot of decorative sticky notes and things like that. I own so much, it's to the point where I just stick to collecting them. Obviously, sometimes I look through them to see which ones would be good to use in my bullet journal, but other than that, I really like having them and they're like my backups. I also have 2 cases full of stickers in here. These are stickers that I don't really use as often because I kind of forget they exist. I usually like to use the stickers on a sheet or in like a bigger pack. But yeah, that was it for the basket. And sadly for part 1, I have just so much stationery. I could not fit it all in one video. So I plan on making another one and giving you guys a tour of 3 other full cases of stationery. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you in my next video, hopefully. Bye!